Well, back to the low resolution camera, but that's okay. You don't really want to see me anyway. You want to see the manga. So, I plan on putting this on Rumble for the first time as well. So I'm going to go over the rules. So here's what I'm doing. Okay, I go to eBay. I type in manga English. I hit search. I then go to the filters down below where it says sold and completed. Look at those listings, take off the completed. This is something I've started doing recently because just because it's completed doesn't mean it's sold. Anyway, so I look for high value listings, click on them, do a screenshot, and then compile them on an Excel spreadsheet. I can't do best offer accepted. I can show them, but they don't go in the listing because I don't know how much they actually sold for. Conversions. I'm using $1 Canadian is 75 cents American. That's what I've always used. Ties. Okay, so anything within 5 cents, I basically consider a tie. So if something sold for $99.95 and a book sold for $100, that to me is a tie. And that's basically about it. There is one thing I'll mention that a lot of people probably don't realize but eBay only keeps its listings for 90 days. So if something was sold more than 90 days ago, it basically just drops off the radar, right? That's why I'm doing these screenshots, because some of the most valuable stuff already sold in 2023 you can no longer find on using their sold filter. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get to the listing. And here we go. And again, I'm starting this new ones that got away where I'm listing best offer accepted, thanks to Stairway to Zeppelin. And this week was astounding for collections. We had some fantastic collections, and then we had some that were best offer accepted. So let's start with those. The first one that got away, the 5-Star Stories, volumes 1 through 8, listed for $600, best offer accepted. The second one that got away, the 5-Star Stories, volumes 9 through 14. So these 6 books were also listed for $600. Best offer accepted. We did have an almost complete collection of this sell on March 26th for $1,800. So the 5-Star Stories is one of the most valuable manga collections there is. Not the most, but one of them. Okay, next one that got away. Initial D, volumes 1 through 32. 32 books listed for $700. Best offer accepted. And finally, the one that really hurt. Love.com, or Lovely Complex, volumes 1 through 17, listed for $1,057 US, best offer accepted. As I've been doing this list for the past 9 months, there's what I call like big books. So very few collections will sell for more than $1,000. We had one this week sell for more than $2,000. The other thing is singles, very few ever sell for more than $400. There have been some, but these are what I call big books. Now this week we actually had our top collection sell for more than $1,000, and we had our top single sell for more than $400. And there's more to this, but let's get going with the collections here first. So as usual, 5 honorable mentions. These are ones that just sort of I found interesting or almost made it. Honorable mention number 1, I Know Kasubi, volumes 1 through 4. These are light novels, $235. Now the thing about I Know Kasubi, the first 4 are relatively cheap. The last 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, are incredibly expensive. Volume 8 of I Know Kasubi is the most expensive light novel in the world as far as I know. So anyway, let's get into honorable mention number 2, Shonen Jump magazine, volumes 0 through 12, so that's 13 issues, $250. One of the neat things about Shonen Jump magazine, the Japanese version, is that they behave a lot like comics. So the first appearance of, let's say, One Piece was basically in a Shonen Jump magazine. So before it was ever a manga, it was in Shonen Jump. Honorable mention number 3 is a collection I really don't see sell very often, and when it does, it's good dollars. It's Gurren Lagann, volumes 1 through 6, $320. So that's over $53 per book. Honorable mention number 4 is the same thing. It's a collection that always sells for good money. Cage of Eden, volumes 1 through 21, $419. That's almost $20 per volume. And finally, honorable mention number 5, haven't talked about it for a little while, but it's Reborn, volumes 1 through 16, $450, just over $28 per book. All right, let's get into the top 5 collections. And again, this is just the total dollar value of the collections, right? It's not the average value or anything like that. It's just how much money the entire collection sold for. So, number 5. Code Geass, Lelouch of the Rebellion, volumes 1 through 8, $499.99. That's about $62.50 per book. Bandai Entertainment, 2008. Now, the thing is, the last volume of this, volume 8, I even missed one on last week, which would have made my list even that much more impressive. It sold for $306. Okay, collection number 4 had a ton of these last week. It's One Piece box sets 1 through 4, so 90 books in total, $559.66 US, about $6.22 a piece. Viz Media 2003, that's actually come down a little since last week. It was all over the place, but I will say that the first box set of One Piece is now going for about $300 on eBay, which is way more than it used to. Number 3 is a perennial favorite. Like, this has been around for a long time, and as far as I know, there's been no new release of anime or live action, but it's Great Teacher Onizuka, volumes 1 through 25, $600. That's like $24 per volume. Tokyo Pop, 2002. Collection number 2 is always one that goes for big bucks. It's Ghost Hunt, volumes 1 through 11, $824.99. That's about $75 per volume. Del Rey, 2005. And finally, the number 1 collection, and it was huge. Basra, volumes 1 through 27, $2,700. That's $100 a book. Viz Media, 2003. Now, you might think that's the highest collection of 2023. It's not. But you know, it's basically the same collection that is the highest collection value of 2023. That was also Basra, volumes 1 through 27, which sold for a whopping almost $4,000. So anyway, let's now get into the singles, the individual volumes, and again, I'm going to do 5 honorable mentions. Honorable mention number 1, Domu, The Dreams of Children, volume 1, went for $99.99. Now, most people know this through Dark Horse, but this was actually published by Mandarin, which is a Great Britain publisher back in 1994, so this was kind of interesting. Honorable mention number 2, Death Note, Collector's Edition hardcover, went for $100. Honorable mention number 3 is a book that always sells for good money. It's Vagabond, volume 37, $120. Honorable mention number 4 kind of piqued my interest. It was Path of the Assassin, volume 15, $124.99. And finally, honorable mention number 5, haven't seen it for a while, Tokyo Ghoul Monster Edition. This is a Barnes & Noble exclusive, volume 1, $124.99. So basically, that Tokyo Ghoul was tied with our number 10 books, and they are ones I'd honestly never heard of before. The Princess of the Neverending Castle and The 12 Sisters of the Neverending Castle, both by Shintaro Kago. The pair went for $249.99, so about $125 each, and they're from Hollow Press Publishing. Now, these are kind of horror with a lot of sex nudity ones. which is why I haven't shown the covers. But anyway, they're very limited release. I think from what I was looking at, it was probably only 1,000 copies of these translated to English. Okay, let's get to number 9, and it's another naughty book. It's Tayu Tayu. This one went for $129. That's from FAKKU back in 2021. Okay, here we go with number 8, and the further you go in this series, the more valuable they become. This is Blackjack. Volume 8 went for $135. That's Vertical Comics, 2009. Number 7 we haven't seen for a while, but this is definitely the most valuable one of the run. It's Haganai. I Don't Have Many Friends, Volume 10, $138.50. 7 Seas, 2015. Number 6 we haven't seen for a while. It's Puella Magica Madoka, Homero's Revenge, Volume 1. Went for basically $149.24 US. That's Yen Press 2015. What's interesting about this was that volumes 1 and 2 in a separate sale went for $159.99, just over $10 more. Okay, we have a huge tie for number 5. There's actually 3 different volumes, but let's get on with the first one at number 5, and they all sold for $150. It's Spirit Circle, Volume 4, $150, 7 Seas, 2018. Okay, the second one at number 5, Excel Saga, Volume 26, $150, Viz Media 2013. We actually had this one sell 2 weeks ago for $200. And finally, our last listing at number 5, Basra, Volume 25, $150, Viz Media 2007. Single listing number 4, Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicle, The Omnibus, Volume 8, $165 US, Kodansha Comics, 2016. Number 3, Blackjack, Volume 9, $180, Vertical Comics, 2010. At the bridesmaid position, number 2. Now, I hemmed and hawed over this one because it's a truly manga, but it is listed as a tankobon, and it is put out by Bandai Entertainment, so I counted it. It's Lara Croft Tomb Raider, the tankobon, Volume 5, the final tankobon in the run, $186.54 US, Bandai Entertainment, 2007. And finally, at number 1, and this is the first time I've ever had this happen, that the top single is part of the top collection on the same week. This is Basra, Volume 19, $500, Viz Media, 2006. So we'll get into the screenshots so you can see all the data presented and in collections here. Again, no surprise on Code Geass volumes 1 through 8 going for $500. That's probably a bit of a deal considering how expensive volume 8 is. Ghost Hunt, volumes 1 through 11, always valuable. Basra, oh my goodness, crazy. That just cements its place as the most valuable manga collection out there. Okay, now let's jump to singles. Not a fantastic week, but kind of average. The real outlier, though, was that Basra Volume 19. Besides that, it was interesting to see Excel Saga Volume 26 continue to go for big bucks. Now it's gone for $200 and $150, which means I probably won't be completing my collection anytime soon. So there you go. And yeah, again, thanks so much for watching, everyone. I do these every week, and eventually I will compile a list of the year's best manga sales, but that won't be until end of December, beginning of January. So anyways, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.